Hi guys, welcome back to another Hugh video. In this video, we're going to be comparing replacement screens for the iPhone. With there being many different types, it can be hard to know what displays are any good. There isn't a great deal of easy to access information about this, so I thought I'd do my own testing to try and find out. I've purchased all four types of replacement screens that are commonly found online: LCD, hard OLED, soft OLED, and OEM refurbished. You may also hear terms like EK, GX, and JK that refers to the display's manufacturer. While the screen sounds like a pretty standard component that looks the same no matter the type, if you look closely you'll find some differences between the displays we have here. The hard OLED screen has a different style flex cable, and the Touch IC chip found on the left hand side of that cable looks a bit odd. At a closer inspection, it's a fake chip that's actually hiding other components underneath. This was likely done to make the screen look more original. For our test device, we'll be using this iPhone XS with some display extension leads attached. Testing our displays from cheapest to most expensive, we'll of course start with the LCD screen. This particular one is from iFixit. The iPhone XS is designed for an OLED display, but that didn't stop manufacturers from trying to retrofit an older display technology on. LCD displays are thicker than OLEDs, so the screen will stick out further when installed. We'll connect this one up so we can see the visual quality of this display. As I expected, the colors are lacking compared with an original panel. This is especially noticeable with the music icon. LCDs differ from OLEDs in that they have LEDs illuminating the whole display from behind the picture. OLED screens don't have this, and instead each pixel lights up on its own. This means the screen needs to create 20 volts to power its backlight, and places like iPad Rehab have reported seeing phones damaged by using these screens. This particular LCD also has very poor viewing angles, with the screen turning practically pink on the sides, and the bezels are ever so slightly thicker than the original. It's time to step up to the hard OLED. Many consider OLED to be the better display technology, so let's see if that's true with our cheapest option. This particular panel retails for $90 Australian and is even advertised with OLED breakage covered by warranty. So to me this one sounds like a pretty appealing option. This is also the screen with our fake chip that we identified earlier on. So let's see how the quality of this screen stacks up. Apart from the fake IC chip, this out of glass also has a strange reflective coating on it that none of the others have. Powering it up, we can get a look at the picture quality. Despite being an OLED, the colors look very dull to the naked eye. Unfortunately, my camera makes this difference look more subtle. The viewing angles are much better than our LCD display, but still a small amount of pinkish tint appears. The biggest deal breaker though for this panel are the bezels. They are even larger than the LCD display. It kind of makes the phone look like a knockoff of some kind. Hard OLED is just that, hard and not flexible. It's slightly thicker than soft OLED, but thinner than an LCD. It's also very fragile, hence why this supplier offered breakage under warranty. This screen I pulled off another phone. It's an aftermarket hard OLED with no damage to the outer glass, but yet it's damaged. Next we have soft OLED. This is the same technology used for the original display. This screen is flexible even if the glass on top isn't. This technology is how other companies make curved displays and folding phones. Right off the bat, we can see the display looks much more like the original. My JK soft unit has a more blue color tint to it, but the exact color temperature will vary manufacturer to manufacturer. The bezels are exactly the same as the original, and viewing angles are exceptional. The last type of display is an OEM refurbished screen. This is an original Apple display that's previously been cracked and had its glass and touch layer replaced. This will be the best possible new replacement display for your phone. Of course, the colors, viewing angle, and bezels will be one-to-one with the original. The biggest downside is these displays cost the most, and depending on the model of the phone and the supplier of the part, they can cost a lot of money. Another issue that can arise with a replacement display is problems with the Touch IC. It's not uncommon to hear people swapping their old Touch IC chip to the new display to avoid Apple's not genuine messages or prevent issues with the display which could arise from a software update. Although I've never encountered any touch issues with replacement displays. It should be noted that all these displays support being programmed with serial numbers to allow the True Tone function to work. even the hard OLED with our fake chip. Based on the screens I've tested, the LCD model is the cheapest but has poor viewing angles, overall poor color and image quality, doesn't fit correctly inside the phone, and even has the possibility of damaging your phone as it's drawing more power. Next is the hard OLED. It's fragile and breaks easy. I've broken a few myself just by pressing them into the phone. The picture quality still isn't like the original, and the bezel is even larger than the LCD display. The soft OLED is the best aftermarket option. It's got the best viewing angles, great picture quality, and looks stock. And we can't forget our refurbished display, for those who want the best possible display, even if it comes at a higher cost. I personally would only recommend soft or refurbished displays after having done these tests. Of course, results will vary slightly between screen manufacturers, but I hope this made the overly confusing screen options easier to understand, so you can find the right screen for your next iPhone repair. And on that note, this has been a Hugh Jeffries video. If you like what you saw, hit that subscribe button and consider checking out the repair tips playlist for more videos just like this one. And if you're looking for any tips or what tools I use to repair devices, be sure to check out my website, link for which is down in the description. That's all for this video, and I'll catch you guys next time.